Hi, my name's Michael, and I'm here to do a quick review of The Librarian by Mikhail Elizarov. And this is translated by Andrew Bromfield. This is post-Soviet literature that was published by Pushkin Press, and I've had this on my shelf for a while now, but I recently got the opportunity to buddy read this with Olive at a book Olive. Book is set up by introducing Grimov, who is an obscure Soviet author who published what we would consider propaganda, and his books have started to gain this cult following because people have discovered that his books have this unique ability within them. His books are referred to as the Book of Strength, the Book of Endurance, and so on. And basically, when you read the book, they transform you and give you that strength or endurance, and depending on the book will depend on the supernatural impact it has on the reader's life. And I really enjoyed this as an interesting metaphor for the power of books and how they bring knowledge and understanding and empathy. And while this is not really the primary focus of the book, I just really like that whole idea that books are powerful and reading them do impact the reader in a unique way. The author has created this dystopian world around this book where people have gathered together to collect these books, and the leader of each group is called a librarian, and the idea is to protect the books and keep the power for themselves. This causes a bit of rivalry between different groups, and they start warring and fighting each other. And this is a really interesting allegory for the Soviet Union because it's exploring the idea of the Soviet era and exploring the way people react to this extreme condition. And the major theme that I kind of picked up was that people kind of have this blind faith and will willingly adopt a system, like a political system, that has been inherited upon them, and the idea of people conforming to ideals that have been imposed upon them. Kind of like when the tyranny of some Soviet leaders pushed their agenda on the people and people accept it without really fighting back. And I thought that was an interesting way to explore this idea, and I think this book, The Librarian, really captured that really well. There seems to be this theme in Soviet literature that likes to explore the political in a satirical way and explore the author's ideals through his writing. And post-Soviet literature kind of does the same thing, but the difference I find with post-Soviet literature, it's a lot weirder and unexpected. And my experience with post-Soviet literature is not to expect the expected, because the books kind of take you on a journey that you often don't expect, and you often think you know where the plot's going to take you, but it takes different turns and it keeps the book fresh and exciting because you don't know what to expect. And I really love that about post-Soviet literature. It is weird, but it's so much fun to read because you never know what's going to happen. Mikhail Elizarov has a background in philosophy. He studied philosophy at uni, and you can see the exploration of philosophical ideas coming through. He also worked as a cameraman, and that also plays a big part in the book because he has a way of describing imagery. I often felt like I could see what he was describing really vividly, and I think that background in filming has taught him to pick up on little things that help paint a picture, and it really shows in his writing. The Librarian won the Russian Booker Prize in the year that it was released, and the Russian Booker Prize is pretty much like the Man Booker Prize, but for Russian literature, and I'm really interested in the prize. I haven't read any other winners, but I have read some of the nominees, and I think it's an interesting prize to follow. Unfortunately, I can't read Russian yet, so if I ever do discover a book that's been nominated or won the Russian Booker Prize being translated in English, I'm definitely going to pick it up because, as most of you know, I am a huge fan of Russian literature. I do love classic Russian literature, but there's something about Soviet and post-Soviet literature that really interests me, possibly because I have this interest in the history and the politics of the Soviet Union, and they often explore different ideas and the history of the era, and I find that fascinating. So I hope I've talked about this book enough to encourage some people to pick it up, and I highly recommend it. But if you have read The Librarian, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. As always, my links to social media are in the description below, and thank you for watching.